Hello, my name is Bill Hardiman. I'm the state senator for the 29th district, which includes the cities of Grand Rapids, Kentwood, and Lowell, and the townships of Lowell, Virgins, and Groton. I'm very pleased to be here today to bring you the program From Capital to Community. We like to talk about issues that are important to me, to you, and to all of us in this West Michigan area and also in the state. And today we have a very important program, and I think it's going to be a very interesting program as well. We're going to talk about marriage and family. One may wonder, why are we talking about marriage and family? Well, I believe that families, strong families, are the foundation of strong communities, and at the core of strong families are strong marriages. We understand that many times there are unfortunate situations that occur where there might not be that strong marriage, but we do believe that that's the backbone of our community. So we're going to talk about that. As some of you may know, prior to my coming to the Senate, I was the mayor of Kentwood. And during that time when I was mayor, I helped to start an effort called Healthy Marriages Grand Rapids, an effort where we gathered many leaders from the community, from churches, from organizations that were concerned about marriage and working to help to strengthen it. But today, we're going to speak with two professionals. They're professionals in the area of marriage and family, and they're my guests today. I'm very pleased today to introduce Dr. Kathleen Jaeger and Dr. Adrian Blow. Both Dr. Jaeger and Dr. Blow are licensed marriage and family therapists, clinical members of the American Association of Marriage and Family Therapy, and approved supervisors. Dr. Jaeger is the current president of the Michigan Association of Marriage and Family Therapy. Thank you very much for joining me today, and welcome.
Thank you, Senator.
It's just a pleasure to have you here. Can you just tell me a bit about your profession and what is a marriage and family therapist?
A marriage and family therapist is a mental health professional that sees individuals and couples and families. We have a particular training to see people in the context of their relationships. So sometimes people will think that we're just, that we just see married couples, but that's not the case. We do see individuals for things like depression and anxiety and mental health diagnoses, and we see children in the context of their families. We provide a lot of psychological and emotional support, and then also help to work with families just to kind of make things go better, to help them reduce their stresses, to help them get along better, communicate more effectively. Depends on, sort of what the problem is that brings them into therapy.
Okay, wonderful. Now, can you tell us how your profession might differ from a social worker, a counselor, or a limited licensed psychologist?
Let me just say, I've been a marriage and family therapist actually since 1994. I was a master's student, and I actually went to Ecology in West Texas, Abilene Christian University, and then went on to Purdue, got my PhD, and I teach at Michigan State in the family therapy program. So let me just say, and I'm actually married to a social worker, so I know a lot about social work and what social workers do, and I work with psychiatrists and psychologists as well. So I think there's a lot of similarities between our various disciplines. I think we're all intent on helping people, helping them get through problems that they encounter in their lives. My wife is a social worker. She works with couples and families as well, as do I, and individuals, as do I. So there's actually quite a lot of overlap between our professions and our training and the services that we offer. So I would actually say we're more similar than different in our work.
So, Adrian, since you're married to a social worker, you probably want to say that you really like social workers, right? I mean, is that true?
Yeah, I have to say that.
I know I would say that if I were married to a social worker.
I see that we're talking about marriage, and marriage is important, and absolutely have to say that. So,
it is important, and I can certainly appreciate that. Well, I'm very interested because I came to be very involved in this area and very interested in it. Probably because of the things that I've experienced, the things that I've seen around me, the things that I've seen happen earlier in my life, the things I've seen happen in the lives of other children. listen, I've spoken with young people, some gang members, and they've talked about the issues that they face, and it helped me realize how important strong families are, but also marriage. And this is not a put down of anyone who doesn't have a strong marriage. I've been through difficult situations and growing up, but also this is my second marriage. I've been married to my wife, Clover, now for 35 years, and she's awesome. And I want to say that again. Awesome,
you better say that.
And I want another 35 years and more as long as I'm on this earth. But there are difficult situations that people run into, and so that's why I wanted to help strengthen marriages. Now, you've talked about what you do and you're mental health professionals.
Yes.
I've encouraged communities to get involved in this whole effort to strengthen marriage in a variety of ways. You know, churches do premarital preparation. There's some mentoring and whatnot that goes on, but sometimes there's a need for the kinds of services that you offer. Can you kind of help us understand maybe the times that those are needed?
You know what? Why don't I just give my 2 cents, and then Kathleen can expand on that. One of the things I think we do think about is that context is important. You know, so when I work with clients, they're always talking. I mean, really, their family is more than likely the most important context that people grow up in. You know, the pain that they have often is connected to their families, or the stress in their life is often connected to their families, or the stress that they may be experiencing in their jobs may trickle down and have an effect on their families as well. So one of the things we're interested in is in context, and maybe we'll talk about this a little bit later on. But I work with military families, and there's a very interesting context where you have a soldier who deploys to serve his or her country for most deployments are about 12 to 15 months in length, you know, so that's a significant time to be gone. And sometimes there's traumatic events that happen on a deployment, but then there's also a spouse or a significant other or children or parents who are staying behind, and they kind of going on with their lives during that time. So in my work, in one piece of my work, we're working with families to help them to kind of negotiate the stress of deployment, negotiate the stress oftentimes of reunion, of reintegrating families together again, because one of the things we like to say is that everyone changes during a deployment, you know. So I always like to tell with the workshops that I do is that you just take 15 months of your life and then list all the things that took place during 15 months, you know, children grow up, or, you know, parents may pass on.
That's a good way to look at it.
You know, you may lose a job or change a job, or, you know, especially in these tough economic times. So that's I can talk about it later, but I want to give Kathleen a chance to talk.
And I want to hear what Kathleen has to say about it as well, and then I want to come back to the whole military situation, because I've been involved in that too. In my long life, seems like I've been involved in a lot of these things. But please.
My work that I do is a little bit more in child welfare, with working with parents and working with parents who often have substantiated cases of child abuse and neglect. So I would agree with Adrian that it's our training and our role is really to pay attention to the context, and the context in which the children are developing, the age that they're at, what are the expectations, and whether the home environment is a safe one for them. If the parents are struggling with being able to be parents, whether it's a single parent or a two-parent family, it's helping them to kind of work on their relationship, also helping them to work on their supports. Whether it's you know, resources in the community, or whether it's just helping them to work on their own, you know, emotional health and mental health and physical health in some aspects, to work together and you know, to just become better parents.
Sure.